Graham.
I'm Paul.
Today we are continuing our Colorado breweries, and we're doing Left Hand out of Longmont, Colorado. Recently on the Colorado brewery trip, we visited Left Hand and had a great time. And we decided to, since we can find their stuff here in New York City, we decided to go out and get some Sawtooth ale and review it.
It's an ale. It was described mostly as a bitter or an ESB. Nice, just sort of more or less, yes, stereotypical English style ale.
Ooh, that's cold.
Cold and delicious. Very delicious.
So, what do you think, Graham?
I mean, from some of the other times I had it, you know, the same thing always sticks out to me. Is it has this really nice malty sweetness to it. And it's not like a real sweet, and it's not, you know, like a sugar sweet. It's more just like it's the malts, and it gives you this like nice sweet aroma and like character to it. The hops are there, but like, you know, you're not really looking for them because you have that other flavor. So I like it. It's not as spicy as a beer that I would normally like, but it's like very easily drinkable.
Yeah, it's reading about it and just looking at what it's actually classified as I read earlier, and Brad and I were discussing it. It's bitter or ESB, and it is. It's just sort of. You're right. The malts are good. It's sweetness, but there's a little bitterness that rolls over afterwards, and it just kind of reminds you of a beer. I mean, I've said it before. Stereotypically, when you watch somebody drinking a English beer in an English pub in a movie, you think of something like this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you. I think that it's just a solid ale. It's nothing overspiced, and they don't try to. It's easily drinkable. This is one that I can certainly say, you know, go into a bar and be like, nothing else is really that intriguing. I'll definitely go for the Sawtooth and then have 2 or 3 of them responsibly and enjoy. It's not anything that I'm going to ever get tired of. It's just a solid, you know, like an English style bitter kind of, but it's not too bitter for me. It's not, but it's not sweet. It's right there in the middle. It's just, I mean, easily drinkable. I'm lacking any other vocabulary this morning, but it's just a solid, understandable beer.
Tasty. It just tastes like beer. If you want a beer, this is a good one to have.
I don't, you know, I mean, the beer itself is very exceptional. The only flavor that stands out is that sweet malt flavor, but that's kind of what makes the beer as good as it is. You know, exactly that way. Like you know, you said, easily drinkable is just such a good word to use for it because it's just like very straightforward.
Yeah, it's a bit heavier than I think you'd expect it to be. I mean, you're looking at it, you can't see through it. It's cloudy. It's an orange, but it's cloudy. It's a little heavier than I think you'd expect from it. It doesn't make it too heavy. It's not, I mean, it doesn't have a lot in it that makes it that you know, tough to drink. It's very simple. It's very easy. It just sort of tastes like a beer. Sort of delicious.
I think it's interesting when you actually find something that's just an ale, you know? People always want to classify things, like, you know, and be very specific, you know, oh, this is a pale ale, this is an India pale ale, you know, this is a, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a pale ale.
No.
It's definitely not an IPA.
It's interesting
it's just an ale.
That other people online, and Brad and I had this conversation, like I said earlier, where people were like, no, it's a bitter, or it's an ESB, and it's just like, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the closest distinction, but you're right. I mean, it's hard to even put it forward and say, like, this is why, I mean, bitter in this country has kind of lost its meaning. Some people believe it's more of an IPA, or some people believe it's more of just like a Bass Ale as a bitter. Like, it's kind of up for grabs in this country anyway, so.
All right, so let's review this from Left Hand. It's the Sawtooth Ale. We've had this at local bars. I give it a 8.5. For everything that we've talked about, it's a good, solid ale, and there's nothing fancy about it, but it's a good beer. It's drinkable, it's not too light, it's not too heavy.
Graham?
I'm going 8.49, just because Brad likes it more than I do.
Yeah.
But
is that way high?
No, but it's a really solid beer. Normally I like to go a little bit hoppy, but you know, there's definitely times where I'm not feeling the hops, and if I'm in one of those moods, this would be a beer I would go for.
All right, this one. Just go.
I'm gonna have to give it an 8.